Trump stepped onto the stage in Dallas expecting another routine political event. What he didn't expect was that Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett was about to deliver 12 minutes. That would upend everything. The Myosin Symphony Center was packed to capacity. Cameras covered every angle, cables twisted across the gleaming floors, and millions tuned in from home as American Voices a national forum on race went live. Center stage stood President Trump, as self-assured as ever, his red tie stark against a crisp white shirt. To his right, seated calmly in a black suit, was Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. The moderator kicked things off with some easy questions, and Trump recited his usual lines. "Black unemployment hit record lows under my administration," he said. "I've done more for black Americans than any president since Lincoln, maybe even more, some say." But once the microphone passed to Crockett, the tone completely shifted. "President," she began, meeting his eyes, "black people aren't just bullet points in a speech. We're not stats you pull out for applause. We live the consequences of your policies." Her tone was gentle, but sharp as a blade. "I grew up just 15 minutes from here. My neighbors lost their homes after your tax plan passed. When we marched against police violence, we weren't asking for employment numbers, we were asking to stay alive." Trump leaned forward, clearly amused, murmuring something to the senator next to him. But Crockett wasn't finished. "When you claim you've done more for black Americans than Lincoln," she said, "what we hear is something very different." The real clash had only begun. She pressed on with precision, like a lawyer laying out a case. "This isn't just about policy. It's in how you talk about us, how you talk to us, and who you choose to listen to." Her voice never rose. She didn't need volume. "You bring up black unemployment, but never mention black wages, or black maternal death rates, or how we were dying twice as fast from COVID without equal access to tests, vaccines, or relief funds." When Trump tried to cut in, she calmly lifted her hand. "President, you'll have your turn. You waited for me." The crowd rustled. This wasn't your typical political back and forth. Something different was happening. Then came the line that would go viral. Crockett brought up Trump's reaction to the NFL protests. "You called those players sons of bitches. You told them they should be grateful." "I was talking about disrespecting the flag." Trump snapped. Jaw tight. Crockett gave a slow nod, like she was letting it land. "The flag can survive a knee, Mr. President. Some of our kids can't survive a traffic stop." The air shifted. The room buzzed with a tense energy. Trump's face turned visibly red. But Crockett came with receipts. She reached into her folder and pulled out documents, authentic legal records. One by one, she read them aloud. United States v. Trump Management, Inc., 1973 *. "The DOJ sued you and your father for discriminating in housing." Trump shook his head, but she didn't slow down. Page after page, quote after quote, she built an unshakable record. The Central Park Five, the shithole country's remark, his jabs at black women in Congress when she brought up his comment about Maxine Waters being low IQ. Trump couldn't resist. He leaned into the mix. "That's because she is low IQ." The audience reacted instantly. Someone from the back shouted, "That's racist." Crockett didn't flinch. "This is what I'm talking about. You can't stop yourself. Every time you use these dog whistles, you show exactly who you are." The moderator tried to steer things back, but Crockett wasn't finished. "I'm not saying the president's language might be racist," she said evenly. "I'm saying it straight." The room went completely quiet, not the silence that expects a comeback, but the kind that says a judgment's already been made. Then came the most gripping moment of the night. A teenager stood up in the audience, wearing jeans and a plain t-shirt. His voice rang out through the silence. "My cousin was shot by a cop 2 years ago. Said he thought he had a gun. He didn't. It was a phone. No charges, no trial, nothing. What do I tell my little brother when he asks why no one did anything?" Trump's reply was weak and evasive. "That's awful, but we have great police. Sometimes mistakes happen." Crockett's response cut clean through the air. "You don't need to condemn every cop to admit there's a pattern. You just have to stop acting like the pattern isn't real." As the event wrapped up, something unprecedented was unfolding. Before Crockett even stepped outside the building, clips of her exchange were blowing up across social media. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, every platform was buzzing with her words. Asterisk, "We're not guests in this country. We built it." Asterisk, within hours. The hashtag Crockett Challenge was trending, with people sharing stories of speaking uncomfortable truths. Her line asterisk, "I'm not afraid of you" asterisk became a rallying cry. The White House scrambled to get ahead of the story, but it was too late. Even Fox News struggled to reframe what had happened. By the next morning, Crockett's office was inundated with messages, some supportive, others threatening, but all proof that she had struck a nerve in America's consciousness. But maybe the clearest sign of what she sparked came when she returned home. Instead of basking in her new fame with interviews, she visited a middle school in Terrell, Texas, speaking to 8th graders who had watched the forum. "Power doesn't always look like what you think," she told them. "Sometimes it's just being the one in the room who won't stay silent when it counts." One student asked if she'd been afraid going up against the president. Crockett smiled. "No, because I wasn't standing there for me. I was standing for everyone who's waited for someone to stop watering down the truth for days." Later, she delivered one last message, not on national television, but at the Greenwood Cultural Center in Tulsa, the site of the former Black Wall Street. Standing before a crowd gathered by word of mouth alone, Crockett spoke what many would call her most powerful words yet. "I didn't come here to reopen wounds," she began. "I came because this place understands what it means to be strong asterisk and asterisk scarred." She looked out at the crowd, elders, young people, families who knew the burden of history. "Don't let anyone tell you that speaking up makes you angry or extreme or dangerous. That's what they asterisk want asterisk you to think, because it keeps them comfortable." But comfort was never the point. Justice was. The applause that followed wasn't loud, it was asterisk lasting asterisk. People didn't just clap. They held it. They lingered. They exchanged looks like something meaningful had shifted. That night, Crockett went back to her hotel quietly. No press, no fanfare, just a long, quiet breath. But across the country, a different conversation had already begun. Not in studios or on stage, but around dinner tables, in classrooms, and inside churches, because one woman had dared to speak the truth and asked the nation to listen. In just 12 minutes on a Dallas stage, Jasmine Crockett had done something extraordinary. She hadn't just called out a president, she'd reminded a country what real courage looks like when it refuses to stay quiet.